feel like days. Only been days, but it feel like months. Been gone for a year, only know like once. Life move fast when you do.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Lacey and I am a middle school teacher. I'm gonna hang out with you guys today, and it is Wednesday, the 22nd of October, and we're starting something new. I don't like to pick up the camera when we're wrapping up something. I like to show you if we're doing something new. So they are gonna read a new story today, and I say new, but apparently they read it in 6th grade. So I was struggling to figure out, like, what should we do, because I can't just say, hey guys, here's a brand new story that you've never seen before, and they're going to be looking at me crazy because they've already read it. So I decided, as they are rereading, because of course we do need a reread, there will be a quiz on it, I gave them the events out of order, and they're going to have to cut out the events and put them in order on this little chart. I'm going to let them do it in partners so it's a little more fun, so that way they can kind of jog their memory and reread the story, but also do a kinesthetic activity with their hands with scissors and glue. So that's what they're going to do today, and then they are going to start a trial assignment, because in the story a crime happens. If you're familiar with the story Thank You Ma'am, then you know what I'm talking about. It's by Langston Hughes. There is technically a crime that happens, or at least it's attempted, so we are going to pretend it went to court and do a whole trial assignment. So it's an interesting day. I feel like they'll be connected to everything we do today, which is always nice as a teacher. Yesterday we had a quiz, so it was a boring day, so I'm glad we are able to move on to something more interesting. On the computer card right here, I pretty much always have everything laid out. I try to leave each day ready for the next day. So before I left yesterday, I laid out my cut and paste stuff, and I also have the glue ready, and I have the scissors ready. It just makes me feel better to know that I can come into work and everything's ready. The board is already written, the date is already changed, and my last group of kids, they usually help me change the date and everything. So I'm all ready for the day. Again, hopefully everything goes well, because I know that it's a little bit redundant to read the same story again. So I feel like doing this activity and just putting the events in order to jog your memory is the perfect way to go about it.
The day that after a while, she said, we're going young.
I'm on planning now. I don't have a super long to-do list, but I do want to start planning for next week. I know for sure one day we'll do this Halloween mystery. This doesn't really go along with our current standard, but I like to do this around Halloween every year. On actual Halloween, we do have a fun picnic event with the parents. We'll be outside grilling out and everything, but the day before Halloween, I'm gonna try to do this mystery, and they can do it in partners, and it's just a fun inference activity. So I am going to make those copies today just so they're out the way, and then I need to plan, of course, the rest of the week. So that's what I'm gonna work on now, and then I will check in with you guys a little bit later. I got my copies, I got my snack, and I am now going to schedule a parent conference, because guys, this curriculum is starting to catch up to the kids, because everything we read is in the textbook. The story they're reading today is in the textbook, and for everything we read, there is also a quiz for it. I do not make the quizzes. It's the textbook company who makes the quizzes, and some of them are hard, and they're a lot harder than what I would give them if I was making the quizzes. And they had one yesterday. A lot of people struggled, and parents are starting to reach out and have concerns, and unfortunately I am not in control of the curriculum. I just do what I'm told. We have to read the same thing as the other middle school. We have to do the same quizzes as the other middle school. So my hands are kind of tied. This curriculum is a bit harder than what they're used to, and it's our first year using curriculum. So even though they are in 7th grade, in 6th grade their quizzes were not hard like this. So this is really their first year having these rigorous questions. So I need to schedule a parent conference. She reached out yesterday and asked me to call her, and I called her immediately, guys, because my anxiety cannot handle when people message me stuff like that. I just asked the other teachers what day would work for them, and so I need to send a message out and get that scheduled. And then my next step is to plan for ELA support, because that's technically another prep. So whenever I'm on planning, I need to plan for my actual ELA class, but I also have to plan for ELA support. I have about 5 minutes till the kids come back, so I'm going to talk quickly so I can run to the restroom, but I just wanted to chat for a second about some of the things I've noticed. I'm having to figure out, how can I incorporate elementary grammar, because it's not technically a 7th grade standard, but they need to know parts of speech. They need to know things like subject and predicate. That's another thing I've noticed that they need to work on. So as I've been planning this past hour and a half, I've also been trying to figure out how can I incorporate grammar, because it's not technically a 7th grade standard. I don't technically have time for it. A lot of them forgot those kind of skills, so I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate those into the classroom on top of all the other 7th grade stuff I have to teach. So I'm trying my best, but there's just a lot going on. I feel like a lot of teachers are going through it right now because that's all I see on TikTok. It is 3:18. I have an empty classroom. It is the end of the day. We are not able to leave till 3:45, so I'm gonna wrap up a few things and then I will leave for the day. Typically, I go straight home on 2 wheels, but I do actually have tutoring today for Preston because Celeste asked me to tutor him once a week for 30 minutes. So we chose Wednesdays from 4 to 4:30. So we're going to meet up with him later. I will try to include a clip of us tutoring a little later. But guys, I'm tired. This week has been long. I feel like behavior, disrespect, it's just getting to that point. And I feel like we all need to really stand on business because I feel like we've given the kids plenty of warnings. It is almost November. It's getting to that point where I'm exhausted every day. I feel like I fuss all day, especially because they were in partners today doing the partner assignment. So it was real loud and they would talk over me and it was just a lot. So I feel like tomorrow and Friday, it needs to be a quiet day. I need to shut things down and stand on business because your girl is tired. I had a student change the date already and we have a countdown until our next break, which is Thanksgiving break. It is more than 22 days, but we're only counting school days. So I have people who do that for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and write on the board. I looked around online today and I found an activity for subjects and predicates. A lot of my kids have forgotten it, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of review tomorrow and then they will get back to their court case because a lot of them did not get very far because they were able to sit wherever, they were in partners, and it just was a chaotic day. So tomorrow we're going to review subjects and predicates and then they're getting back to their trial, and it's going to have to be independent because like I said, it's just been too much going on and I need to stand on business. It's getting to that point where I need to start documenting behavior because it's just getting to be a lot. But I'm gonna write this on the board. You guys know I do that the day before, so tomorrow I can come in and my room will be ready. I have you guys propped up on the copier, but I'm in the copy room making more last minute copies because I found a worksheet for tomorrow. Really what I did was ask Mr. Chat, if you know, you know. And I got this worksheet that has definitions at the top and then the bottom has 10 practice questions that we'll do as a class. And then on their own, I do these little whodunit mysteries that have 10 multiple choice questions. So it's really good practice, but each question leads to a clue so they can figure out the criminal. And they really enjoy those, so they're gonna do that. Also about subjects and predicates, so that way we have plenty of practice and then they'll get back to their trial. But I'm kind of in a hurry because I need to go meet Celeste and Preston at the library, but obviously since that's my best friend, she'll understand if I'm running behind. I have 2 minutes to make it to the library, but it is right up the street, so it shouldn't take me long. But I got my copies. I hate to be last minute. I'm always organized, I'm always planned. But like I said, I'm just observing some of those gaps. And as their current teacher, even if it's not a 7th grade standard, it is my job to fill the gaps. So that is why I had to make the last minute subject and predicate copies. But at least now I know what I'm doing tomorrow fully. And they have the trial to do once we finish reviewing subjects and predicates. So they should be pretty busy and hopefully that'll help with behavior as well, because they have a lot to do and they don't have time to play around. But I am going to film a clip with Preston at the library and then I'll probably end the video once I get home, because you guys already know once I make it home, my brain is turned off and I am no longer Miss Smith. I am just a regular old Lacey. The letter is A, so alligator starts with an A, so we put it on there. What about bear?
No.
No A? All right. And we already said O. Does O go on here?
Nope.
O does not go on here. But what about this one?
Yep.
I just made it home. It is 5:30. Celeste and I only live 10 minutes from each other, but we were yapping, of course. But I am officially home. I'm just gonna chill today. I'm not working out because I pretty much try to rest on days where my day's a little longer, like tutoring. So Wednesdays are now my rest day now that I'm tutoring. And I'm gonna end the video here. I was looking at the footage and I feel like I was a little more negative, a little more stressed out, but guys, that's the reality of the day. It was definitely not a bad day by any means, but the reality is that you know, behavior is kind of an issue, and I have a long to-do list pretty much every single day. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to show the real. So hopefully this video did not come across super negative, because I do, you know, like my job. I like my new school, and it was just a busy day. But I'm gonna end the video. Please make sure you like, share, comment, and definitely subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.